Border Patrol officials are pulling their men off the border because it's just too dangerous. Well, that's great. Here's an idea. Show me the map. Why don't you say we pull back, I don't know, somewhere about here. Portland, is that enough? Why don't we pull back to Oregon? Why don't we give them California? I haven't even mentioned the fact that car bombings are now happening on our border, and nobody seems to notice that car bombings, where do we see those? Hezbollah. Hezbollah is involved. So does switching to a few D's to a few R's in November make this go away? Will a victorious Tea Party candidate send shivers through the spines of the drug cartels and have them retreat from the border? And that's not even counting our biggest problem, us. Because those are the enemies outside the gates. But what about the enemies inside? We've shown you on this program over and over again, those who hate the free market system and the Constitution. You don't think they exist? Let me show you a billboard in Arizona. We don't have an immigration problem, we have a capitalism problem. Sponsored by Revolution Talk. Ow! Revolution, who doesn't like a nice revolution from time to time? So what is the cure for all of this? Is it the president? Is it the president? Is a Republican gonna do it? Republicans are the ones that for the 99 billion weeks of unemployment, their only complaint is that it's paid for. Has it been paid for? Those things may delay a storm from coming on shore, but it's not going to stop it. We haven't even talked about oil. You think if we have a problem in the Middle East, we're going to have a problem with our energy, seeing that we're shutting down the oil rigs? If we have a problem with our energy and the economy is like this, do you think it might cause some more civil unrest? And if you think if we have trouble in the Middle East, we have no energy, the economy collapses and civil unrest, do you think the borders might be overrun? And do you think the enemies within might like that? What's the answer? It's not Obama magic, it's not Congress, it's not the Republicans, it's not the Tea Party. There is one answer. One. And if I may continue my quest to be, the most hated man in America, the weirdest show in America, I don't know. Let me give you the answer. God. These problems are too big. That's the only answer. And I know you don't like getting that from some boob on TV and a news channel, but that's the only answer. I've been looking at this for a long time, gang. Do you believe America was created through divine providence? Do you believe that God worked through our founders? Do you believe that all men are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights? If you don't, then this show's the wrong one for you. But if you say yes to those things, then you have to answer this question. Does this land have a purpose? Is there a reason we're here and we're free? Or is the purpose of freedom over? Because once we lose it here, it ain't around anywhere else. Is God done with the whole free man thing? Is that a concept that God's like, it didn't really work out? Is God now siding with the Chinese who pay their people 50 cents an hour, that build hive-like dormitories over their factories? For a while, they're just like, you know what? I don't know if we should. We don't call Lee anymore. Let's just give him a number. Is that whose side God is on? Is that the way God's looking at people and going, let's call him a number? If you believe that God indeed had his hand in the founding of this country, then don't you think he's kind of interested in its future? We've seen what happened to those who get careless in the past. Every time. Every time. And every time there are warning signs. Every time. Do you want to be the Romans and just disappear? Or do you want to make a difference? Do you want to say, we're not going to repeat it. We've learned from history. Now is the time, gang. Now is the time. Turn to him before he decides, okay, I guess they're never going to get it. And then he allows us to destroy ourselves. And then he turns to our children or our grandchildren or our great-grandchildren. Ronald Reagan, a man I love, said, those who have known freedom and then lost it have never known it again. It is true. If we lose it, we will never see it again. We'll be lucky if our children or grandchildren do. Please. You can always dial for a fireman when you need help. Call in. Call in.
Gordon John Liddy here for Roslyn Capital. Like you, I'm worried about the falling U.S. dollar. Experts are calling this economic crisis the worst since the Great Depression. The Fed is printing money faster than ever to pay for Wall Street bailouts on our $10 trillion debt. You don't have to watch your hard-earned savings shrink to nothing. Invest in gold. I got into gold 10 years ago. It's the smartest move I ever made. During tough economic times, gold is the time-tested currency that goes up, not down. Buy your gold where I buy mine. Roslyn Capital, the most respected and trusted source for advice on gold. So call them at 1-800-891-2341 and get the facts, like how to have a gold-backed IRA. Listen to that. That's the sound of security. That's the sound of gold from Roslyn Capital.
When you look in the mirror, can you imagine erasing years of aging? That's what I used to do.
Not on my camera.
Lifestyle Lift takes only about an hour. See the difference immediately.
I'm Linda. I'm 70 years old.
Huh?
Can you believe it? Oh,